To say that we have gone through some turbulent times is an understatement. But yet, in the words of Dr. Maya Angelou, and still I rise. Hello, I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Welcome to our Harriett Tubman report. In this new day that we're in, we are no longer shackled by chains or overt laws that keep us in bondage. Today, the frontier that needs to be conquered is the mind, freeing of the mind. The song that says, "Free your mind and the rest will follow." We are in a place today where that's where we are held in prison, is in our minds, as women, as people of color, as humanity. I mean, think about the promise that was made that we have life and have it more abundantly. I've been doing a number of shows on suicide prevention, and to look at the numbers with suicide globally, as well as here in this country, we must admit that something has gone awry, desperately gone awry, when humans are finding as their best option to end this journey that you did not decide consciously to be on, to be a part of. There are those who believe that we do decide to come here and then we forget because we have this earthly journey that we become so consumed by what we see, what we touch, the people that we come in contact, that we forget that we're here on a much higher assignment. The scripture says that we are to serve the Creator in spirit and in truth. And if we are in a place where truth is not a part of the journey, then it does go haywire. And our minds become as cluttered as you see in those shows that talk about the illness of hoarding. Some of our minds are as cluttered as what we see in those pictures. Just jumble, just stuff on top of stuff, feelings on top of feelings, thoughts on top of thoughts. And all of those thoughts and feelings, if they are low energy thoughts, and more times than not, they are, it does put us in a rather vexing place of feeling like, is it worth it? The suicide statistics really, really break my heart, that there are children as young as 5 years old who are committing suicide. The number one cause of death between the ages of 5 and 35, I think, is suicide. We talk about gun violence in this country, but we don't report that homicides happen, that suicides happen at a rate of 6 to 1, using weapons that we fight to keep, but we're killing ourselves with these guns. And the number one group of people that are impacted by these suicides is white men. That does not get reported. I'm a former, I consider myself still a journalist, but worked television for a number of years, and we did not cover suicides for fear that suicides would encourage copycat suicides. Well, I think that that philosophy has not panned out to work, because the numbers continue to go up. Suicide among African American men has doubled since 1980. And as we think about what's driving that, what is driving us to think that this journey is not worth continuing till the Creator says, you're going to do one last exhale and that's it. What is driving that? Well, as we talk about freeing our minds, what are the things causing the clutter? Science is not talking about gut health, what we put in our bodies that causes the brain to function the way that it does, that causes inflammation in the body, whether it is the sugars, preservatives, um, the wheat, whatever it is that we are, anything that we're taking into the body is going to have an effect on it, good or bad. And I don't think that people understand the role that the plate has on their mental stability or instability. I've been a part of NAMI, National Association of the Alliance for Mental Illness, for a number of years. And every year we continue to talk about mental health or mental illnesses. Um, and I don't know that we're focusing enough attention on the nutritional aspect of mental health. Are there physiological challenges? Absolutely. But even in those physiological challenges, research has shown that the gut health can impact those physiological challenges in a negative way to make it worse. How do we free our minds? Free your mind and the rest will follow. Harriett Tubman, uh, a woman that was a part of our history, that went back to the plantations to help slaves who were in bondage in deplorable conditions, working free, um, being treated like superior pets, uh, being subjected to rape, um, their babies being sold, yet the milk that was in their breast being used for the white babies that belonged to their plantation madams, that they call them. Those women had to keep going. Harriet's desire to help bring them to freedom, she understood not everybody knows that they're a slave. So you can't free people who don't know that they're slaves, because all they know is what they're in and they're comfortable and they don't want to go. She knew that there would be sometimes along that journey that there would be people who wanted to turn back. Her philosophy was, you can't turn back, because if you turn back, if your mind is weak enough to turn back, then they'll convince you to start talking. She was able to help pregnant women uh, escape to freedom. And when I think about that, when I think about the young, the old, the pregnant, who were able to make that journey to freedom on foot through the wilderness, and what were they eating? They were eating what they found along the way. They knew, and I'm told there are even stories of there's something growing in the forest that they would give babies to keep them sedated so that they would not cry. Now that's God wisdom. So in her desire to help people to be free, she knew that she couldn't take everybody. And that's the same way today. Not everybody wants to be free. But for those of you who do want to be free, I invite you on this journey with us every second Sunday at 2 o'clock on this Facebook, on this channel, this YouTube channel, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Harriett Tubman Report. And I was led to do this, the Spirit led me to do this out of honor and respect for the women of the church that I grew up in, Marshall Chapel Church of God in Meaden, Tennessee. Every second Sunday, they had what was called Sisters Meeting. And there's a scripture in Titus that says, older women are to teach the younger women. And I was thinking about that one day, and I thought, well, Pamela, guess what? It's now your turn. You're one of the older women. And I don't want it to be said that there was work that I could have done that I did not do. And today, with this technology that we have an opportunity to teach, to inspire, to encourage, to lift each other up, those that want to be. Not everybody is ready to be free. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. The most powerful tool that you have, the pinnacle of God's creation, is the mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. But you can't just think. The proverb that says, as you pray, move your feet, it requires work. It requires diligence. It requires determination. That if my body is sick, it doesn't have to be. The body wasn't designed to be sick. There are times that I will have something for dinner, supper, and I can tell by how my face looks the next morning. I think, wow, if my face is swollen, then there are other parts of my body, internal organs, that are also swollen. And research, inflammation and mucus is the base for the majority of food-related illnesses that we're dealing with today, because inflammation and mucus keeps the cells from communicating with each other to stay healthy, to fight off any enemy that enters into the body. Think about it, mucus and swelling. Your blood is trying to circulate through your body 3 times every 60 seconds. And if there's swelling and inflammation, what does it do? Causes your heart to have to work harder. And when that heart muscle is working harder, trying to get the blood through every part of your body, your extremities, and then circulate back through. And if it's got too much to go through, before long, there are going to be some things that don't work as well as they should work. I don't have to go to medical school. It's just some basic common sense things. The mind. When you decide that you want to live the best life, the most optimum, at the most optimum level of health, the information will come to you. So another proverb that I like, when you're ready to learn, your teacher will show up. I hope that we can be a part of that journey with you on the Harriett Tubman report. This time, there are no signs that we're trying to fight to get down. There's no white only, colored only signs that we're trying to take down. There's no legislation that needs to be passed. We don't have to have a fundraiser. We don't have to have a banquet. We don't have to write a grant. We don't have to do a crowdfunding. We don't have to call and ask the neighbor. We don't have to sell any candy bars, any candles. We don't have to do anything except decide. I want to be the first one that makes this vessel my priority. I am the first one to make this vessel my priority. Because in the end, this is the first gift that you were given. The vehicle for the breath to dwell in, for your spirit to dwell in. This is your responsibility to take care of this. How well are you taking care of that? And what is it that you need to do for your mind to be ready to run away from all of that brings injury to the body? What are you feeding your spirit, man? And how do you make sure that you're ready to get on this freedom train? What do you do to make sure that you are fully ready to get on this freedom train? I don't want us broken anymore. I don't want us walking around with our heads bowed and our eyes lowered. I don't want us walking around with our shoulders fallen and tears streaming down our faces every time. I don't want us crying because we have the power to be free. We have the power to be free and to have hope and not be ashamed of that hope. And the freedom is yours to have. Yours. Come join us. We will bring you various guests and various topics for us to discuss as we honor Harriett Tubman, who wanted to help people escape to physical freedom. Now, we want the mind to be free. Take the shackles, take the chains, take the weights off of the most powerful thing that you have, and that's your mind. Free your mind and your body will get healthier. Isn't that wonderful? And no side effects. I'll see you next time. I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Remember to subscribe and share. And I'd love to hear your suggestions. Don't forget, enjoy every moment. And remember, there is healing at the well.